I'm going into NBA territory, and I don't usually go into NBA territory. If people don't know, I am a Brooklyn Nets fan. Yeah, that's right, a Brooklyn Nets fan. We just got swept by the Celtics, who are a way better team than us. And I'm not going to make excuses for the team. We weren't good enough. Okay? We just weren't good enough. It sucks that you don't win a game, but in reality, it just doesn't even matter. And of course, the biggest distraction in the first round of the playoffs was one Ben Simmons. Okay? Now, I was never someone who liked Ben Simmons one way or another. I always thought he was extremely overrated. Like, wasn't he like a first or a second overall pick in like 2016 or something like that? Wasn't he like the trust the process pick or something like that? I knew he wasn't good with the Sixers. Sixers fans, I always saw them try to be like, oh, I hope Ben Simmons is good. Like, oh, don't hate on Ben Simmons. Well, Ben Simmons basically plays like he's never played basketball before in the playoffs last year against the Hawks. I think it was couldn't even make a basket, like couldn't even make a layup, and when it was time for him to make a layup, he would just pass the ball away to the detriment of his team. Well, he ended up getting traded to the Nets, my team. And immediately when he got traded to the Nets, everyone was like, "Oh, the Nets, they won this trade because they're getting Seth Curry, and they're getting Andre Drummond, who those players are pretty good to decent, right? They're not amazing. They're not gonna take over. They can't be the guy. But they also they snuck in Ben Simmons, and when he was drafted, I had this conversation with a colleague of mine, and I said, look, Ben Simmons isn't going to play. He's not going to play all season. Nope. This was a dumb trade. Because Ben Simmons isn't going to play. No doubt in my mind that Ben Simmons sits out the whole season, right? And come to find out, I didn't even know this, dude didn't do any conditioning during the offseason. Didn't do any conditioning or any training during the season when he was sitting out. He was playing Call of Duty on Xbox Live or something like that. And I was like, this dude is the laziest athlete in sports. Like, lazier than Jamarcus Russell. And the colleague of mine, he's like, oh, he's going to play and the Nets are going to be pretty good. I was like, he's not playing. He ain't playing. And I remember coming to the playoffs and people were like, oh, Ben Simmons might play game 3. And I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. Come to find out, the Eagles are getting swept, down 3-0. The games were close, okay, but the Celtics were way better. The Celtics owned us this season, okay? If there was one team that the Nets didn't want to play, it was the Celtics, because the Celtics have star power on their team. The Celtics can drive to the basket, and the Celtics can play defense, okay? The Nets can't drive to the basket, and the Nets can't play defense. Okay, they haven't been able to all season. I do not like the fact that typical Nets move of making a Hall of Fame player their head coach without any coaching experience. Total Nets move. And come to game 4, and they're like, Ben Simmons is like, my back. KD and Kyrie are like, hey, Ben, we're down by 20. Help us out. Ben Simmons is like, my neck, my back, my neck, my back. Give me $1,500. Or $150,000. My bad. No, that's nothing. This guy, didn't he get a Supermax contract with the Sixers? This guy got a huge contract with the Sixers, right? So he's getting paid. This man's getting paid to ride the bench, okay? Because his head isn't in. He was like, oh, my head isn't in the game. I'm not mentally prepared, dude. You're not getting pushed out of an airplane, okay? Like, look, dude, I've got crippling anxiety, okay? Right? If there's anyone who knows how it feels to, like, have gastrointestinal issues when they're nervous or anxious, it's me, okay? I know. But this is what you've been trained to do your whole life, all right? You're not being told, look, Ben, right? You're going to have to get it together. We're going to push you out of a plane and we're just going to give you a parachute. That's not what's happening, okay? You're playing basketball. This is what you've been playing your whole life. Instead, you're looking like Elton John on courtside, okay? You're looking like the fabulous version of Spike Lee. Dude, like, I don't care how the dude dresses, personally. But get off courtside. Stop being a distraction and get your mind right. Okay? Get off of the Xbox. Stop playing Call of Duty or Halo or whatever you play. Okay? Get help. Believe me, like, I am sympathetic for that. I'm not saying that to be mean. Bro, get help. Get your mind right. Instead, you look like a clown on the sideline or on courtside, on the baseline. Nobody's there for that because you weren't going to help the team otherwise. And you can check my receipts. I said it all. I knew he wasn't going to play. I knew it. Because not only is the guy the most selfish player in sports, he's also the laziest player in sports. Who doesn't condition during the off season? Oh, you injured your back? Doing what? You've got to have the worst posture playing Xbox or playing Call of Duty I've ever seen.